Will you be working in Finland? Or will you be having business meeting with Finnish people? Because today I will share you 8 practical tips on how to do business with Finnish people and how to understand the Finnish working culture better. Let's go check them out. What up, Fantastics? How are you doing today? My name is Aleksi and I create awesome videos about Finnish culture, lifestyle and language. So if you're even slightly into those kind of things, hit that subscribe button because you will join our Fantastic squad and you'll get more awesome Finnish videos in the future. Number 1, equality. Quick disclaimer. The things what I'm going to say in this video are not 100% accurate in every workplace or at every job, but just like general guidelines, so keep that in mind while watching this video. In Finnish workplace we have really flat hierarchy and from practical perspective this means that we, for example, just call each other with our first names. We don't use the titles, we don't use the last names, we just use first names just like people do in their everyday lives. And if you ask me, like these hierarchies or formalities would make working quite slow and clumsy, if you ask me. Of course, this means that the seniorities and rankings and everything exist, but not really when we are interacting with each other and hanging out with other employees at workplace. Like if you compare, for example, to Japan, it's a completely different story because these kind of things, they are really much present in Japan, but not in Finland. Finland is quite casual and quite relaxed in terms of formalities. Number 2, expecting to carry out tasks independently. At Finnish jobs, there's no such things as micromanaging, bossing or monitoring, but instead the bosses usually trust and rely on their subordinates that they do what they are told to. And this means that we have flexibility and freedom on how we actually do our job and how to carry out the tasks. So practically speaking, the results matter, and it doesn't really matter how you get them as long as you do it. But this also means that if you have some problems or some obstacles at your job or your task, you need to let your boss know proactively. I mean, they are not going to ask you because they just trust that everything's going fine. So remember, if you need some help, have some problems, you need some extra time, you need to be proactively letting your boss know about that. Number 3, punctuality, and this is really, really important everywhere in Finland, not just in business culture and working culture. If you agree, for example, for a meeting at 8 sharp, it means 8 sharp. Not 5 past 8, not 5 to 8, 8 sharp. And I strongly recommend to be there at least, let's say, 10 to 5 minutes early, rather than risking of being late. For example, that's what I always do. Like, if I'm supposed to meet a friend at 8, I'm usually there like 5 minutes early myself, and I strongly recommend you guys to do the same. Of course, some people are a little bit, bad with the schedules, but my advice is to be on time. Being late is considered rude and very impolite, so make sure you're on time. Number 4, straight to the business. Let's say if you have a meetings with Finnish people, we Finns expect go straight to the business. We don't spend time on chit-chatting or less asking like how are the kids or something. Cut the chit-chat and go straight to business. And this kind of informal stuff is usually left out for coffee breaks, lunch breaks and so on. General tips for like meetings: keeping the stuff neutral and focusing on the facts. And there's not really these kind of subtleties with changing the tone of your voice or anything. We just focus on the pure facts and logical stuff. And this is, I think it's a good thing because you don't have to kind of interpret anything, because all the business decisions and everything, all the decisions are based on the facts. And also if we comment on something, we say something, we usually mean it. And that's also a good thing to keep in mind. And also the word carries a lot of power in Finland. If someone promises you something, you can pretty much 99% expect that they will also deliver what they promised. And if there's something you have to prepare or present in the meetings, remember to be prepared and keep the stuff concise. That's good for Finnish people. By the way, if you find these tips useful, don't forget to hit that like button. Number 5, interaction. Let's say you meet some new people at your workplace. It might be some colleagues or some business people, whatever. There's nothing too special regarding the interaction. So when you're introducing yourself, firm handshake, not a death grip or not too loose, eye contact, and just say your full name, first name, last name, and that's usually enough. And no extra touches, kisses or hugs in Finland. Keep in that mind. And as for business cards, not too special rituals or anything related to that. We just exchange them, and it's always good to put them in your wallet or something to keep it as a sign of respect. We don't refer to ourselves with or title, unless it's necessary or in a professional context. Let's say if I had a business meeting, I'm going to meet my client, I'm not going to say like I'm Alex Linna, sales manager or anything like. I just say like Alex Linna, nice to meet you, and that's enough. Okay, what I mean by that is that maybe during the self-introduction we can let them know like what's our position in the company, but after that there's no really need to refer to ourselves with the title. But let's say if I was introducing my boss to like a business client, then I would say this is Uno Turhapuro, managing director, for example, like this. I mean, when we refer to ourselves, we don't really refer us to with our titles. That's not really necessary. When you're doing business with Finns, don't be like too avid and don't be like too excited. I'd say it's better to tone yourself down a little bit and kind of like blend in rather than standing out. Of course, there are some exceptions, and you can usually tell what's the best way to hang out with the Finns once you've kind of got the first impression, because some are a little bit more kind of subtle and stuff, and some are like more funny and kind of outgoing. So just kind of reading the people can also get you far with Finns. The relationship with Finns are usually built outside the office. Like for example, if you get an invitation to sauna, that's a great way to build business relationships with those Finnish people. Number 6, work-life balance. In Finland, it's more about working smarter, not harder or longer hours. And usually we have this 7.5 hours work day from Monday to Friday. And there can be some overtime work, and it's kind of normal. I mean, if you have some big like a project going on and you need to work a little bit more, that's okay, but you usually get either compensated for it or you have flexible hours, which means that if you do like 2 hours extra today, you can leave 2 hours earlier tomorrow. So I think it's quite well handled in many Finnish jobs. And this means that we are not like devoted ourselves to our work. Again, if we compare to Japan. By the way, if you're wondering why I'm doing these Japanese comparisons, is that I used to live 1 year in Japan and I followed the culture quite close. And in Japan, they work like really hard and really long hours. But if you ask me, I think here in Finland, we have a quite good balance between work and real life, so to say. Number 7, dress code. And of course, dress code depends on the work and the kind of job you're doing. But if you ask me, I think it's quite relaxed and quite flexible. Many of the jobs where I've been don't really have dress code. And for example, I was working at the uni for the summer and I was just there with t-shirts, shorts and sandals. That was okay. But for example, my friend is working as a data analyst and he has a business code, like a smart casual. So he has to wear like a nice shirt and jeans and shoes. And for example, if it was really hot summer, and he wasn't allowed to wear shorts because of the dress code. But usually it depends, like for example, if you are in a work where you need to meet clients, when you're going to meet the clients, of course you want to have like a business attire, and it depends on the job, but it could be like a suit or just like a nice color shirt with jeans, you know, and nice shoes, this kind of thing. So, but you don't really have to worry about this that much because you will get all the instructions at your work. And the last point we have is religion is not present at the Finnish jobs. And you might be wondering why I did take this one to this list. The reason is that when I was doing research for this video, I found that this religion actually popped out in quite a few articles because I guess in many other countries, religious rituals and these kind of things can be a part of the work life, but in Finland it's not. But for example, visible symbols and like scarves and these kind of things are allowed in Finland and at Finnish jobs. Prayers and these kind of things should be taken with your own breaks, so the jobs don't allocate time for do these things usually. So you just have to do them on your own time. As for Finnish people, religion is pretty much losing its importance day by day. People keep quitting the church all the time, and definitely at work, religion has no importance whatsoever. What kind of observations have you made working with Finland or doing business with Finnish people? I'd love to hear your comments. Drop them in the comments below, and make sure you also subscribe so you get more fantastic videos in the future. See you in the next video. So moro.